you to go on there. You understand?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know, right on the dot. You already know how I get. Hey, yo, I told you I'm getting this shit, B. You heard? Happy Juneteenth to everybody, man, especially with my peoples. Man, shout out to everybody that's going to participate in Juneteenth this weekend. Yo, man, we're going to talk about it. I got a special guest in the building, but you already hit that like button, hit that share button. Come on, man. Let's go, man. Ain't subscribe, go subscribe right now. It's the No Longer Trap podcast, man. Let's go. We lit. It's Thursday, baby. Shout out to my brother Joe Leasy, man, and my whole Fit First crew, man. You already know, man. It's all gas, no break. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all ain't went to Joe and say, "Yo, Joe," I don't know, man. I gotta I'm trying to get a Fupa package. I want that No Longer Trap podcast Fupa package. And see what happens, man. It's the summertime, man. You want to rock and be a bathing suit? Come on, man. Give it a shot. Shout out to Queen City Fresh. If your car ain't Queen City Fresh, Chief said it smells like truck, but shout out to everybody in the building. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go, man. Every now and then I have a problem right here, but not today. That's good. Like truck, but nope, not yet. Oh, that's my camera, and it connects. I don't know why it does that.
It does it twice?
Yeah.
Because it should only do it once.
Yeah, it does that twice. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, man. Hit that. Let's get up. Let's get at it. It's Juneteenth, baby. You just already know what it is, man. Come on, man. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's my peoples. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Grand rising, everybody, man. Anastasia. Shout out to Anastasia, man. You heard? It's Juneteenth, Anastasia. And she loves Juneteenth. Every year. Now I can't say that. Every year, she always puts me on. Yo, it's Juneteenth. Blah, 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 blah. That's why, as far as that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Grand rising. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's going to be a beautiful day. The weather's going to be in the 70s and the 80s today. You understand what I'm saying? It's going up. So we're going to talk about clothing, appropriate clothing today. See, now today is one of them days, man, that you can wear that, you know what I'm saying? You can show a little skin because it's going to be a hot day. You know what I'm saying? But be of age and wear it appropriately. You understand what I'm saying? Grand Rising, big bro, from my big brother reporting live from the truck. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Smash that like button as soon as you come in, man. Let's go. Come on, brother. Let me set you up. Oh, yeah. Look who I got in the building. Oh, yeah. Hey, I can see some of you's going right now. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be a, oh yeah, now this is Juneteenth. This is one of Eubanks' favorite days. I ain't gonna lie, man. Every year he loves this holiday. This is his day, and I usually and I am gonna just let him go, but because people got to get the essence of Juneteenth, and he educates me daily on what Juneteenth means, how long it came, where it come from, and stuff. And I think that that we should all know that. You understand what I'm saying? So, but we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, I have a few topics that I'm gonna talk about real quick before I get into that, and I definitely would like you Banks's opinion on a few of these topics. Oh, good morning, Julie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Let's get it, man. Let's get it, man. All right. So my first topic. So I talked to Eubanks about this already, and I want to get y'all opinion on this. Grand Rising, Mecca. Uh, at 18 years old, should your child pay rent? You know what I'm saying? Or what is the age you think that your children should start paying rent? You understand what I'm saying? Me and Eubanks do we got a similar
Yes, perspective
on it?
Absolutely.
All right, so we have a similar perspective on it, but I want to hear y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Because shout out to Samantha. She's the one that gave me the question. That was a great question, and she said, like, at what point do we stop stressing our children for rent? You understand what I'm saying? And
Peace. Juneteeth, aka Black on Black. We're gonna make Black on Black a positive thing. Okay.
you got them family with responsibilities. But I want to know, what age should they start paying rent? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go to Eubanks first, because I think me and him have the same, we do have the same perspective, probably in different terms, but we have the same perspective. So I'll let you address it first.
All right. So to me, I believe that's how we cripple our communities a lot of times when we kick our kids out at 18.
No, I didn't say kick them out.
No, I mean,
all right,
pay bills.
Even
if you paying bills and like, as a parent, our job is to nurture and educate our kids and put them in the best possible position. Yes, to be productive members of society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when I say kick them out or making them pay bills, it's for lessons. You know what I mean? Show them fiscal responsibility. You know what I mean? Because guess what? In the real world, something happens to mommy and daddy, they got to pay bills.
They have to pay bills. They have to know how to pay bills.
Yeah.
How structuring, because paying bills is a lot of structure.
Yeah.
You gotta know. Sometimes you gotta know how to get a money order. You gotta know how to forward it. You gotta get your receipt emailed. There's a lot of things to paying bills.
We live in a capitalist society. Everything we do costs money.
Fact.
Okay, so being fiscal responsibility is know how to use money and utilize it for what it's needed and prioritize certain things.
Yes.
And bills are number one priority in everybody's household.
That's a fact. So what would be the age you think that would be to?
I mean, for me, I say about 25, 26 years old.
No.
Let me explain.
We're not gonna agree.
Let me explain. So my sons, okay, are grown, productive men in society right now. Want to be 30. He's got 3 kids. I don't help him with nothing. He pays. He got his own family. He just got engaged to be married. Okay. And he's doing good. He handles his own bills, his own responsibility. My other son, he's 23 years old. He's got about 10 certifications in cybersecurity. You know what I mean? He builds computers. He does software engineering. As long as he's doing things to be productive in life, because what happens in order to get those skills that pays the bills.
Okay? All right. So because the short version of it, you're basically saying, long as you're in the house doing great things and your productive things and we thought that's
yes.
You're just giving me the long version.
Yeah, I'm just telling you because I have to make sure our audience understand where I'm coming from. I'm saying when kids get ready, they graduate high school and they go to college, right? You're strapping them with debt.
And I think that's a lot of the problems with communication and understanding with our peoples.
I know.
We don't like hearing the long version.
We want to hear the short version.
We always want to hear the abbreviated version.
And what happens is a lot gets lost in translation.
And I was about to say, and some of the things we don't really gross because we got the short version of it and we didn't get the whole part of it. So I understand that to a fault. But what I'm saying is I agree with him totally. You understand what I'm saying? If my child is in my home and they're working and they are in school, they are trying to further their life and their careers, I got this. I got this.
You've been had it. It ain't gonna hurt you, you know.
But there's a stipulation with that. You're gonna respect my house.
Absolutely.
Because some kids will get to a certain age, right? And they won't respect your house. So when y'all people get on this here and say, yeah, responsibilities, because I hear a lot of people talking about responsibilities. Yo, if your kid is disrespectful at your house at 19, I don't care how responsible is he's disrespectful. She's disrespectful. They don't see. I believe once your kid, if Chief was here, I forgot how he told his son, once you overstep my guidance,
Your
my
authority,
authority,
Mhm.
you have to leave.
So that's the thing. The catch behind it is there was a saying back in the day. I'm glad it's Juneteenth too, because you get too big for your britches. What I said to my oldest son, I said to him, "Oh, you grown now. You can handle this by yourself. You don't want to listen to me. You don't understand how much I cover."
Yes.
See, what happens with a lot of our kids, right, is when they're young, they start smelling themselves, their balls and shit, and girls is feeling them and stuff like that. Then they think they know better than the parent.
They start thinking they think they're slick.
Yeah.
The kids now, that drink, they think they're slick. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to get you a water.
I'm good.
But the kids now think they're slicker than we was. So
Absolutely.
you got to stay on top of it.
We did the same thing.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, like me, when this person gave me this, when Samantha posed this question to me, I started thinking about all of the teenagers' homes that I've been in, and I've seen the respect levels. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, if your teenager respects you at home, comes in at a certain don't even come at a certain time out. Comes in, make the homes clean, her bedroom's clean. They're working, they come out of work, they're not, they're very respectful at home. They don't got a bunch of kids in their house using parties and smoking marijuana and all in the house. Then that's
a difference.
It's a difference.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Your kid could be responsible and all of that, but have all these people in the house every day, sleeping with guys in the house, sleeping with girls in the house.
Let's keep it a buck.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to keep it a 1,000%. So after my oldest son went to college, he came back and came home. And he wanted to smoke weed and stay out late and come in late.
You had a problem with that?
Of course. And he didn't want to hear that.
Yeah, I got a problem.
So guess what he got fast tracked to?
He going to live by himself.
Exactly.
See, because yo, to you mothers, right? I want to say this. I sat with a lot of mothers that had to make the choice to have to stand ground with their adult kids. Hey, yo, I want to say this, that you have to let them build character.
That's right.
All right? And I know that this world is fucked up, but you have built your child to a degree of strength that he or she could handle themselves out there. Maybe not in the rough areas, but you know that for them 18 years, you built him or her to at least withstand the rain.
My oldest son.
Right?
Again.
So my point is that parents have to start getting the nuts to say, yo, you think you outgrown my authority, you go outthrow my vision for you and all of that? Well, go ahead, buy it and stand on it. Don't kick your kid out, then let your kid come back 2 days later.
So life is the best teacher. You know what I mean? And that's what you're saying. The context about life is going to teach you. There's nobody here who's living at 40 years old that didn't go through things and learn something from life. Okay. So when you're saying things like you saying, I 1000% agree with you. But some parents, and I'm gonna say parents, try to be their kids' friends.
If your son wants to be a gangbanger and he overrule your authority, let him be a gangbanger. Let him see what gangbanging life does.
That's the
and if he loses his life, I know it's sad, but let me tell you something. Resisting it and bringing it to your home is only going to bring turmoil to you, your well-being, your peace. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because he's bringing his turmoil or she's bringing her turmoil here. You got to let, my grandmother used to say this, rest in peace. She used to say, you want to feel the fire, I'll put your hands there to let you feel how hot it is, because you don't believe that's hot because you keep touching the stove. I asked you to not keep touching the stove because you're going to burn yourself. So you know what? I'm not going to say another thing. And you know what I did? I didn't listen. I burnt myself.
Hard head make a soft behind.
I came in there and said, she said, I told you. And finally you listened. I was in there trying to get Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah.
And I touched the hot stove after she told me to stay.
Not to.
So sometimes you have to let them, and I never touch a hot stove. I never burnt my hands again on the top. I've learned from that. You understand what I'm saying?
But see, what happens today, and this is what distractions do. You know, right now, you know, everybody likes to go out on the weekend, have a good time. Everybody's looking for a break from the everyday routine. You know what I'm saying? Because it's difficult. You feel me? And sometimes we lose focus on the fact that it's our responsibility to educate our youth. Like they don't know what's Juneteenth about. Up here, I've been celebrating Juneteenth since I could remember. But up here, it's the 7th annual Juneteenth. Nah, Juneteenth has been popping since June 19th, 1866, because Juneteenth occurred on 1865 and June 19th.
And we're gonna get into that.
We go to, but I'm just saying,
I know that.
Okay, educate our youth.
That's how you know he's anxious about his holiday.
Absolutely.
But no, because I just want to elaborate on one more point about that with the children, because this point that me and this woman talked about was so deep is sometimes mothers are scared to release their kids, and they get more backlash holding their kids in than releasing them. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. So let me help you understand it, okay? See, mothers are nurturers, so they instinctively or intuitively want to protect their kids, but you're protecting them from growing. Fathers are educators. They teach you how to handle certain things. Now, there's mothers who can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
But almost instinctively, think about it. When a child is, fathers are better suited, like, yeah, come on, let's go outside and get on this horse. Yeah. Let's fix this car. Let's do this, that, and the third. Mommy is usually like, be careful, watch out.
And I have a problem with that. When my kid's mother does that with my son, I have a problem with that. Like yo, let him fall.
Yeah.
Yo, don't diagnose him. Yo, oh, he don't eat that. Yo, and he's sitting there going like this, eating it.
Persnickety. Don't get me started. You making him have a complex.
Yes.
You helping him. You teach that's because of they being overprotected.
Yes,
that's a balance. Yes. It's about balance.
You don't have to do that.
So one of the things that I can honestly say, and you know, a lot of people don't realize this about me. When I speak, I talk to what balance. Right now, I believe in our communities, the Black communities, in our household, there's an imbalance. The imbalance is most of our households are being run by women. That means that there's an imbalance of feminine perspectives, feminine demeanors, feminine education. And my objective is saying there's too much. You can have too much of something. You get it? You need something to balance that out. And that's a masculine perspective.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And that, before I move on to my next topic, before we get into Juneteenth, right? I just want to say, right, that this next question is just a broad question that was asked to me. I'm gonna ask it. Is it mandatory that you and your mother-in-law are cool?
Cordial. What I mean by cordial is
hide by.
It's respectful. Everybody has to respect one another. See, that's the problem that we have today. Certain people, and I'm not saying no names, okay, they have a perspective that if this person don't like you, then I don't have to like you. Meaning they can't. That's what prejudice is about.
Now, and I want to ask you all in the chat: is being cool with your girlfriend's mother, father mandatory?
Yeah, it is.
He said.
Yes, say it again.
I just want everybody in the chat, because I want a lot of women, because
I'll give you a perfect example.
Men kind of understand. We kind of understand that. It's your mother, your pops. How y'all doing? Yep. Yo, what up? How you doing? We kind of understand that.
Very much so.
Now, I'm going to get into this because this question is real. What if your lady doesn't like your mother or your father?
You're gonna respect them.
No, she don't talk to him. It's like,
and it's over. Like, first of all, if you choose,
say it again.
It's over.
Say it again.
It's over. Like that ain't even a question to me. your mother and your father is an extension of you.
All right,
You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people are like, damn, no, but that's your lady or
I
your
don't
wife.
care.
But listen, I don't want my lady to be hugged up with my mother, my father, or she don't have to. What my lady or my wife do have to do is have to respect my mother and have to respect my father. You understand what I'm saying? Now you can feel any which way towards my mother, you can feel any way to my father, but you have to respect them in their face. You have, when you see my mother, you don't gotta go, hey Nisi, how you doing, Nisi? No, but you can go, how you doing, Nisi? And my mother's gonna always keep it. How you doing? You can say, how you doing, Sterling?
That's it.
How you doing? And you don't have to say another thing. But for your girl to walk in a room with your mother in there and not speak, yo, you foul for letting your girl go.
So when we talking about parents,
you foul for letting your girl.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You foul for letting your girl get away with that.
See,
I don't care what anybody says.
we talking about mothers and fathers, or parents of the couples, but a lot of times you see couples having lack of respect for one another.
So
the
they
way
know
you
they're
think
not
the
gonna
kid,
respect
yeah, they do. If you don't have respect for your significant other, you shouldn't be with that person. You understand? Period. I'm
It's
being
just
honest
that
with you.
I think your moms is sacred. Your moms and father is sacred.
But how can you be disrespectful? You've experienced this, where your significant other is disrespectful towards you. Have you had that experience?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's not okay. Respect is the baseline to everything. But what we've done as a community have gotten away from having that respect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I gotta say this. Most of the times that I got disrespected, I deserved it.
Doesn't matter. You are a human being.
I
You're an
know.
adult.
You don't go that far.
Yeah,
I get it.
I was telling a person like that who works at the contract that I'm doing right now, right? Is you can't kick a person when they down. If a person know they messed up, they know they messed up. But what a lot of people want to do, they want to add the oil and the grease and then light the match. True or false? True or false?
All right, but how many times did you ever did that to somebody?
I don't do that. See, I grew
never,
up. No, I didn't say it. No, I'm saying. When I grew up, my uncle was a tyrant. He was listen, he pushed every person, every kid away. Away.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was young, when I was first becoming a dad, I thought that's the way it had to be. You get where I'm coming from? I had to make them tough and strong. Get out here and tear down that tree and hold this motor up. Yeah, I learned though in my old age
that you ain't got to do that.
I don't have to do that because then I reflected. My grandpa was the coolest dude on the planet, but he always got money. He never hit us.
You overexerting yourself, yelling and screaming.
Because that's what I thought. But now I realize that you don't have to be that way.
Why do you think that you have? Why do you think that you got that mindset from the your upbringing?
Yeah, because now
your father was like that.
So my grandpa died before I was even 13 years old. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of time with him. But as I was growing up, I always found myself reflecting on my grandpa. So even though I didn't have a lot of time,
this country ass nigga said grandpa.
Hell yeah, grandpa is grandpa. Mommy's mommy.
It's grandpa.
Yeah, it's grandpa. Okay, yeah.
It's grandpa, not grandpa.
Yeah.
It's grandpa.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker, okay, but my grandpa is from the South.
Now, wait,
from Virginia.
Yeah, I was about to say, where are you from? You're from Texas, New York.
Okay, my grandfather was born in Texas, Upshur County, Texas. That's why I always promote Texas. Texas is real black, just so you know. Okay, my grandmother, she's from Virginia. I was actually born in Virginia, but I didn't live there more than 4 months. My dad, my mom, born, raised New York City.
Hey, Miss Jackson, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Miss Jackson, that's the dope. That's what I like what she said. Just because you do something bad, don't mean you got to be disrespected.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I said. You don't kick somebody when they down. Most of the time, most men especially, you know what I mean? Because you've always heard me say accountability. Some people have a lack of accountability. And there's a certain gender that has a lack of accountability more than others. But I'm not going to even say it. We're not here for that. You get it? What we're saying is when I know I messed up, I messed up. It's simple for me.
You know what I got? Know what I think it is with us men. Well, some of us men.
Mhm.
I think that we have a problem with showing that we messed up or
Pride.
saying that we messed up.
That's
Our
being
pride.
that's from
we
being
try to hold on. We
Mhm.
try to show that we messed up instead of communicating
try to
that
make
we
up
messed
for
up.
it.
Yes, we'll probably stay in the house.
Mhm.
Like instead of going to her, going, yo, man, I'm sorry, man. I fucked up. Yo, I shouldn't have did that. Yo, but X, Y, and Z. You feel me? No, we'll just stay in the house, do something nice instead of communicating, tell them how we feel. You think you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I've learned that. Like now, for me, sometimes I've spent a lot of time. Sometimes I felt a lot of times in my life I would try to avoid situations when I know I messed up. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't like talk to people if let's say if I owed somebody some money. I ain't answering the call. I'm avoiding them. You understand where I'm coming from? Because I know I ain't got the money right now, and I don't want to hear this nigga be like, "Where my money at?" La 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 la. So when I was younger, you get where I'm coming from. I used to avoid it, but what I've learned, it's better to deal with it as soon as possible. Yo, my bad. I ain't got it right now, but I'll get it to you as soon as possible. It's called accountability growth. You learn that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at today.
My sons keep calling. But yeah, all right. So now I got that out the way, man. Now let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man.
Okay.
Now, first and foremost, y'all know who I got here. Y'all know who I got here. You know what I'm saying? We're not here. We're here on his holiday. This is his holiday.
It's my day.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, man, Rhode Island has been celebrating this for the last 7 years, man. And I wanted y'all to get a little bit of knowledge of what Juneteenth is, when it started. You understand what I'm saying? Who started it and how we celebrate it and who celebrates it. You understand what I'm saying? Because Eubanks got a different point of view on who should celebrate it. You understand what I'm saying? And
for sure.
I mean, so let's get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? We got Unique here from the Black Business Office.
Yeah, it is. So let me make it real short and sweet. I'm gonna take 60 seconds just to give you a brief synopsis, a brief history of what
You're not gonna take 60 seconds, but
I am just to tell you where it is and where it comes from. Okay. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, and it started January 1st, 1863. But everybody, they didn't free the slaves then. That's called Emancipation Day.
They didn't free the slaves in
They didn't because again, you know how news didn't travel back. They were supposed to, but they were supposed to because we fought the war. So my family and all, slaves, they freed the slaves to help fight the Civil War. Okay. And one of the things they were supposed to do was free the slaves. And Abraham Lincoln, and that's a backstory. They really didn't want to free the slaves, but they knew they couldn't win the war without freeing the slaves. But that's a whole nother story. Okay. So what happened is when they freed the slaves, nobody knew, especially the slaves. Nobody, no white people. Oh, you're free. You know what I'm saying? That's where the 40 acres and the mule and all that stuff. But just to be very straightforward and everything. So all the sharecroppers and everything, not sharecroppers, the plantation owners, they was like, we got crops coming in. You telling me to get rid of my horse? Thing. All slave owners got reparations, by the way, for freeing the slaves. So the United States government paid the plantation owners and the slave owners for liberating and freeing the slaves. But the plantation owners did not free the slaves because they wanted to still get their crops. They was like, we want to get this one last crop. But they kept doing it until the military, I think it's in Texas, okay, to give the last slaves the word that they were free. Okay?
Yep.
So that's how it came about. That happened June 19th, 1865.
Now, tell this motherfucker that was 60 seconds.
That was 60 seconds, homeboy. Okay, or maybe 120. Okay, it wasn't longer than that. So that's
it wasn't.
Yeah, so that's where Juneteenth comes from.
All right.
And the reason why it means so much to me is because I can trace my history back to 1700s in Texas. Okay, so I have a passion. I got tombstones and everything like that with my last name, and I know my people. I know my history.
So Juneteenth out here, have you gotten coordinated with anybody out here, seeing that you've been passionate about Juneteenth for the last how many years you've been participating in Juneteenth?
Here?
No, all your life.
Really, like I said, Helen Baskerville is on the committee for Juneteenth.
No, I'm asking you, how long have you?
I've been accepted when
I'm talking about when you island, was you celebrating Juneteenth? So I'm asking you,
there was
I've been celebrating Juneteenth all
my whole life.
Okay, so have you known this person with that much knowledge of Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Just hear me out now.
Mm-hmm.
You have that much knowledge of Juneteenth. You're 75 years old.
Yeah.
You have 75 years of knowledge of Juneteenth. So I know that you're connected with the Juneteenth people here in Rhode Island, that we only been celebrating in 7 years because your knowledge is what they need.
Yes.
You understand? Around that table in the committee of Juneteenth.
I am not.
And
it's the way they celebrate it, and that's what I be saying about cosplaying and stuff like that.
So you're not a part of it. You're not a part of it.
Not. I was a vendor. I paid for my spot to be at Juneteenth for the first 3 or 4 years. I could obviously I live here. I had to represent here, but I am a business owner. Okay,
Yes.
And that's emancipation and Juneteenth to stop being a slave, chained.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a chain, break free of the chains. It's for us to businesses and do things like that for ourselves, for us, by us. That's why I love the brand until he sold it out. You understand where I'm coming from? That's a whole nother side story. But for me, Rhode Island, it's tribalism, Juneteenth, even with
So why you don't think that you're on the committee?
Because I'm not from Rhode Island. You get where I'm coming from? And
so who's the head of
Helen Baskerville?
All right. Can you tell us a little about Helen?
Well, Helen Baskerville is from the community. She's from the East Side. She's been around for a long time.
Shout out to Helen.
Yep, and she's a big advocate. From what I heard recently, I think she runs the Mount Hope Community Center on Camp Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pam Hughes.
Oh, shout out to Pam Hughes. That's my ex-officer. Oh my God. Yo, shout out to Pam Hughes. She's the best parole officer I ever had. Yo, she's one of the fairest women I've ever had. And let me tell you something. If y'all don't know Pam Hughes, yo, I'm telling you, she's one of the fairest. Well, shout out to the Cowboys.
Yeah,
she
was
that
the president of the Cowboys.
Yes. Personal relationship with this woman. You understand what I'm saying? This woman doesn't help me. She doesn't help me flourish, even though I messed up on her watch. Mm-hmm. I messed up on her watch, but I learned a lot from her because the things that she told me, I just listened.
See what
you understand what
you just said?
When Pam had me, right? She was my first person. So when I got out to that, and Pam, I was anxious to get to the streets. Pam was trying to calm me down because she knew me rushing to the streets that fast. She seen the blood in me. You understand what I'm saying? She wanted to calm me down, but I didn't listen. And guess what? Everything she said, I did the opposite. Right back.
So side note, say that Helen had the greatest temperament that I've ever seen from a male or female here in Rhode Island. Meaning she'll never yell at you. She'll never raise her voice. You get it? She'll always keep it a buck with you. She has a little bit more tact than I have. When I say tact, I mean she'll choose her words a lot better than I can.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. She's a very well-spoken woman.
Yes, she is.
Shout out to Helen.
And she means the best for the community. She really wants the community to thrive. You know what I mean? So I really like Helen as well. They mean well. And they want to do.
All right, so it's Helen, Pam.
Okay, you got Chip. You know who he is. Chip Douglas.
Oh, shout out to
you know who I'm talking about. He's
I
up
didn't
there.
Even know that. All right. Chip
that
Tillman.
Happened,
Shout out to 101 DJ Franchise, man. Like my guys.
So all of you out there is just. It's unfortunate that what I'm about. It's the skill sets of people. Like society today is built off of not what you know, it's who you know. But when you have that kind of mindset about who you know, that's where tribalism comes from. You have somebody like, think of this. Think of Kobe, who knew was Kobe, came to try to play basketball for one of these midnight leagues here. it'll be hard for somebody to try to pick them up because
Mhm.
everybody grew up with the people that they
That's
grew
there.
up with.
Yeah.
So that's what happens a lot of times in our communities. You know, we're not looking at people's resumes.
All
We're
right.
not-
So when this, so tell us a little more about Juneteenth, so we can stay
Focus.
in the focused.
So that's what it's about. So
Of no, what's here in Rhode Island? What's going down here that you know of, and how can people be a part of it? So how we strive. How can we help out? Tell me them things, the positive things that how my viewers, people that are listening, can say, you know what, I want to pull up on Juneteenth. I respect that what he said.
So at the Black Bloc, they have like a narrative from a certain group of people that I can't really promote. I'm not going to promote them. Helen and them, they're doing a museum for Juneteenth. A group, which is the Cape Verdean group, that's promoting Juneteenth. One of the issues that I have. See, one of the things that you just said is, okay, Cape Verdeans have their own culture. They come from, you know, CV and islands, 7 islands, if I'm not mistaken, prior being one of them. However, to me, yeah, you go. That's right. You know, I love these, and yes, they are black. You know what I mean?
Papa man.
On fairs, you get it? Because they have their own Independence Day.
I love my Creole people.
I love Kachupa. I just ate some yesterday. You get it twisted.
Yo, shout out to my Cape Verdeans, man. I love my Cape Verdeans. Debbie! Yo, I love my Cape Verdeans, man. You crazy, man.
I love all cultures, you know what I mean? I like jerk chicken, you know. I love my curry goat, you know what I'm saying? I love all the cultures and the melting.
So do you have a problem with Cape Verdeans celebrating Juneteenth?
I don't have a problem with nobody celebrating Juneteenth. What I do have a problem with is like I said, tribalism. You know, what happens far too often is, like I said, is here I am for years, and I'm very well versed. Okay, where real things took place, you know what I mean? Which we should do. It's like every CV, you know, they want to go to Cape Verde. They're going to go to the islands. Every African will take you to the castles. You know what I mean? I would love to sponsor
Shout out to
tours.
James Montero, man. My brother's over in Africa right now as we speak. I don't know if he's back yet. He might be back by now, but James Montero for showing us, man. Y'all watch his whole lives every day, man, on us Africa and showing us the motherlands where we was our essence.
That's what I be talking about. Saying? You see, I've been to Nigeria.
I know you called me. Yeah. You called gold. You know what I'm saying?
Stop telling my son anyway. But yeah, you know, I love culture, you know. But the problem that I see here is, I don't know what it is an envious thing, because when the person say they're foundational Black Americans or they're ADOS, you know, it's like a envy, because most cultures, they, as you can see what's happening with immigration that's going on here today, you know, they're envious to here. And we are naturalized citizens. We are foundational Black Americans. Okay, they can't deport us, because where are they going to deport us to? We from here. Okay, my family's been here for over 300 years. You get my drift?
And my thing is, like I just told you about that with deportation and all that. Like I just told people, Trump said
he was going to do it.
He was going to do what he did, and you all voted and put him in the office to do that. You understand what I'm saying? They voted to put him in the office, and now that he's only doing what he said he was going to do.
That's right.
That y'all put him in the office to do.
I voted for Trump. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Yeah, so people don't cry about it now.
He said that's what he was going to do. Things that I disagree with is him trying to support Israel with this war over in Iran. You know, another one, I don't think he supported the war with the Palestinians, but I don't think he kind of influenced Benjamin Netanyahu to stop it. You get where I'm coming from? But long story short, like, I'm an American citizen, so I believe our focus should be America. Just like if you CV, your focus could be Cape Verdean Islands. You know what I'm saying? If you're Jamaican, the Jamaican island. But far too often what I see is there's people that come from other places who want to tell Americans how they should be doing things. You get where I'm coming from? Problem with, you know what I mean? Where culturally you really got to do the work to understand. And getting back to Juneteenth. Okay, Juneteenth, Juneteenth was the start of slavery being abolished globally.
So you think that we should take that more serious as black people? That
every,
you know what I'm saying? We don't take it serious.
Every race, color, or creed should be celebrating Juneteenth and respecting the blood. See, this is the thing. My people shed and died for that right. Okay, for freedom. Abolish slavery. Okay, all the immigrant groups that are here wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my great grandfathers, and that's what Juneteenth means for me. Because I know my people died and fought the wars for our freedoms, and that's something that I'm going to always be proud of every day of my life. So nobody's going to make me disrespect or desecrate the land at which my fathers and grandfathers.
So basically, you're saying people are not taking this serious.
Not at all.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
Don't symbolize it. They too busy celebrating other things. And my thing with what Juneteenth says to me is we need to take care of each other. You cannot say or spell community without the word unity. You know what I mean?
Community and unity.
Yeah, you can't spell it out it. You know what I mean? But do we have a black community?
Yes, we.
But now wait. Okay, I help you with that. Where's the Jewish community in Rhode Island? Do you know where it is?
Nah.
You know Blackstone, the Boulevard?
No, I don't know.
You don't know the Boulevard?
No. Oh,
on the other side of Hope Street? Yeah.
That's
you know they got
Jewish
a synagogue over there? You know that, right?
I never knew that was Jewish people.
Yeah. You know Newport?
Yeah.
They got synagogues up there.
Yeah.
They tucked away. They incentivized their groups of people to come move into their communities. Okay? So
Jewish people only live in Jewish communities?
That's what they do primarily, yes. It's tribalism.
So where's the Jewish community in Rhode Island?
I just told you. And they got Newport Jewish community and the Boulevard.
Does anybody know this guy telling
There's
any
a
facts
big synagogue right next to Brown University.
What's a synagogue?
That's their place of worship. That's their churches, okay?
I don't even know that.
But that's what they do. It's like if you're Latino, you're going to be in Central Falls. True or false?
Colombian.
Yeah, if you Colombian too, here in Central Falls. Okay. If you Cape Verdean, you're going to be in Brockton or Pawtucket, okay?
What's Central Falls?
Mostly, when I say that, when you think of it, when you say CV, Cape Verdeans, you're going to think of Brockton and you're going to think of Pawtucket. There's no question. You think of Latinos, you know what I mean? You're going to think of Central Falls.
Cape Verdeans only, or you think people only migrate towards their races in cities?
I think that's what tribalism is. You know, it's like I said, some of the jobs that I've gotten in my life, if it wasn't for one black looking person, I wouldn't have got the job. So that's what happens in our communities as well, you know? And when I'm coming from New York though, I know the Ox, I know my Biqua brothers and sisters, my Dominicanos, you know what I'm saying? So where I grew up, it wasn't there was no such thing as tribalism like that. You had Spanish Harlem, and you know what Harlem is notorious for black people. You get where I'm coming from? The Bronx. I grew up with nothing but Boricuas. You know what I'm saying? My sisters had kids with Boricuas, Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? So coming from New York, I seen what America could be. But then leaving New York and coming to Rhode Island, I saw what racism is.
So you're saying that you didn't see racism in New York?
I didn't.
Come on, man.
I'm being honest with you. Man. I didn't. I got a great education to almost all.
I call cat.
I'm being honest with you.
I call cat.
Let me tell you why.
I call cat, bro.
Look what we just said.
I just left New York. New York is so full of, it's so congested with people.
Yeah.
You can't even, so you're telling me you didn't see racism and all that?
Let me break that down for you. When we said Central Falls, you said Latinos. That means when you come to the Central Falls community, they are for their people. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you see on the strip here?
What happens if you go to the east side of the Bronx and you see all them Spanish people?
You got black people who's right there. Tell me you don't.
It got sprinkled.
Sprinkle. Listen, what I'm saying to you is this: we had to deal with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, tribalism means they don't have to deal with each other. See, most of the Spanish people in the Bronx.
So you never experienced racism in New York?
I didn't. Very little.
Still called cat.
I know you do because you didn't live there. You don't. You can't relate to it.
You're right.
So that's what I'm saying. I had to. When I say the ox, I'm talking about 7-Elevens and the gas stations. I had to go shop there.
And they
there.
And they never showed you no racism.
They never showed me no race. Guess who gave me jobs and shit? Packing bags and pumping gasoline and stuff. It was them. But when you come out here to Central Falls, go to any store in CF and tell me if you see a black person.
All the Spanish people went to when they came over.
Yeah, Ellis Island. Ellis Island is right there.
The city that I
loved in Harlem.
I loved in Harlem.
I know the city. The Harlem is the city. But anyway, like the point that I'm driving is this: there's less. People had to deal with all different cultures and walks of life in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
They're forced to. Whereas tribalism here, they don't have to as much.
You don't think that we don't?
I know they don't. Because again, like I said, I've worked for Spanish people.
So just give me this question. Give me answer this.
Yeah.
From 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Where's Rhode Island in the racist scale?
1.
1 being the lowest.
Yes.
10 being the highest.
Meaning
highest being it's racist.
The race. They are the racists I've ever seen in my life.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Man, now you crazy.
I'm being honest. Name another place. I said that I've been. I haven't been to Kentucky. Okay. Okay. But
I've been.
You want to know why it's so racist?
You crazy?
Do you want to know why it's so racist?
Why is it so racist, brother? Tell me this, because you're trying to tell me my city is racist.
This is
that's from 1 to 10. I'm not saying that my city is not a little racist.
Let me tell you why.
Because there's racism everywhere.
Let me tell you.
But to say my city is the racism, I cannot sit on my podcast and let you say that, bro.
I'm going to keep it
as a man that lived here all my life, that deals with white, Spanish, Chinese. I dealt with every creed. I can't sit here.
You think Texas don't have racist people there?
I know it does.
But this is the difference. The difference is, you ever heard that song Backstabbers?
Nah, I never heard that song.
You never heard Backstabbers?
Let me hear it.
By the 4th, they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The Backstabbers. Yeah. That's what's happening here in Rhode Island.
All right.
What I'm saying to you is
backstabbing and racism.
That's racist.
Are 2 different things.
Look,
can somebody tell him that?
No, bro. Listen to me.
Can somebody tell him backstabbing and racism are 2 different things?
Okay, let me help you. If a person screams discrimination, and then they discriminate,
that means they're confused.
They are backstabbers. Listen what I'm saying. They scream racism. I'm black. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they selective. They don't mess with certain races.
Nah, man.
Be honest. Keep it a buck.
Yeah. I understand what you're.
How do you have a city and you don't have no black people or white people working here? How?
There's people that agree with you.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
I'm just waking up Middletown and Portsmouth. I agree with Unique. I agree with him to Mecca. Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Yo, can I just say this? I've been in prison a long time.
Mm-hmm. So you was forced to deal with racists. That's what I'm saying.
I dealt with racism.
You had to
inside with the correctional officers.
That's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And some inmates.
Absolutely.
I don't been called the N-word and
of
all
course.
that. So what I'm trying to say is, I haven't been out in this community that long to really experience the hatred and racism that y'all have.
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
in my life, just any else, because sometimes you got to get the figure of the person. Then you say, "Yo, that's why he really ain't." In my life, I've been incarcerated over 30 years of my life.
I got you.
All right, over 30 years of my life, right? And you look how old I am. You're saying, "Wow, he was a child and he couldn't really."
Grew up in jail.
Yeah, he grew up in prison. He really couldn't. He had to understand the racism in prison, but being out here a citizen, going through
It's a different set of politics.
It's a different set of politics.
That's exactly what it
when
is.
you hear me say,
Yeah.
yo, because I had to deal with white guys. I had to deal with Spanish.
It's just like me in New York.
I had to live. I love some of.
We had to confront our racism.
There's some white guys that I had to. I love as my brother. Pause. You understand what I'm saying? There's some Spanish guys I love as my brother.
In Rhode Island,
some Chinese guys, that Asian men that I love as my brother. Pause. You understand what I'm saying?
So let me do a quick a disclaimer real quick. Most of the people in Central Falls don't believe they racist. They don't know they racist. They don't think they racist at all. But they don't hire a black person.
Oh, yes. But Wood said that doesn't have nothing to do with backstabbing.
What do you mean? If I'm coming, look, this is what I say.
Somebody please,
I'm
man.
glad he said this. I'm glad.
I've been waiting. I've been sitting here going, how is he saying racism and backstabbing are the same thing?
Let me tell you.
Everybody's sitting here letting you get away with it.
It's not getting. Let me help you understand. Remember how I said a minute ago this. They hire people based off of who they know and not what they know. I just said an example of Kobe Bryant. Kobe being one of the greatest basketball players to ever play. Okay? If he went to try to get on some of these teams, he might not get on the team because he didn't grow up with them. What I'm saying to you is this. I have skill sets that can help the community prosper, but they would block me out for somebody who could barely read and write English, who don't read or write English.
All right, can I just, and I agree with
That's
you.
backstabbing.
You just said a scenario that
that
ain't true.
What's not true?
You said that if somebody came over to my neighborhood from another neighborhood, right, to play out my basketball team. I'm giving you Rhode Island. I'm giving you my city.
I'm glad you're saying that.
Right?
I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Goes over to that basketball court down Buck, right?
Yep.
And we got a team already, right?
Yep.
That means he got next, right? Just hear me out. Hear me out.
Yep.
He's not just gonna, of course, come on the court. Yo, I want to play.
Yeah.
In no court in the world.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who
he got a bust ass.
Just hear me out.
Go
You
ahead.
just said,
go ahead.
Man, you said Kobe Bryant walking on the court and people acting like he can. I'm gonna give you a scenario now. There's no court in the fucking world that anybody could do that.
That's cool.
Unless, just hear me out. Unless you're 7'4" and people see you coming, they're gonna go, yo, I want that 7'4".
Of course.
So there's a but the average person, right, in any community, it's called show and prove. Just hear me out. After that game you got next, this is when you show me, us Rhode Islanders, that you this bad motherfucker. So what? Guess what? After that, you're gonna be on that team.
Let me help you with that.
You're gonna be on that team.
I'm glad he said
just like that. It's everywhere. Can y'all get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
I agree. Show.
Listen.
All right.
Okay.
Y'all pick me. Cool. I got next. Just hear me out. I got next.
Go ahead.
As soon as I get on the court, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
Now it gets word around. So as soon as I do pull up in ball pops,
gonna want you. Now let me say this. Let me keep it.
This is how my city moves.
Okay,
so don't say.
Wait a minute.
Don't say that.
Hold on. Are we talking about basketball?
No, we can talk about any
because
sport.
let me
any sport. Even we can talk about the streets.
Engineering.
That's like a nigga coming from another city. Hold up. A lot of niggas be doing this. Coming from another city in my street. Another city coming in. Yo, I used to bust my gun over there in Baltimore. I used to bust my... Man, show us, man. Fuck out of here. Yeah. That's how we move. I don't give a fuck. That's how said that. Niggas just can't come up in Rhode Island. See, some of you guys from New York, sometimes you get misconstrued about my city. Because it is mostly times you, because you always feel like, I don't know. I don't think, because you think it's small out here that yo, it's not like that. It's not that. Man can't just come here and set shop up in here.
Trap, listen to me. And listen to me carefully. My resume speaks volumes.
Facts.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. When you talk about basketball, they make sure they get the best of the best by watching them play. Okay, they have an arena. That's sports. Football, same thing. I don't care if you talk about soccer or American football. Same thing. tennis, all these different
and I agree with you because
so,
back in the day it was like you said,
Yeah.
people could just come here, yo son, I'm from New York, and have niggas gelling. But now, see, people got smarter. You understand what I'm saying? Because I remember when I was young, younger, how people just come to this city and we would just believe everything everybody said. So, if somebody from New York came here back in the day and said, yo man, this is what we rocking, the whole city will wear it.
So just listen to what I'm saying.
That's what it was. You can't do that now in 2025.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, okay? What I'm saying to you has more to do with politics.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is government.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. I put it first. I brought basketball to you because you can relate to that.
Yes.
Okay.
But that was a good scenario.
Okay,
that was a good scenario. That was a
setup.
I understand what you was trying to say.
I did this to do this. Okay.
Oh, she said, but that's not racism. That's discrimination.
Racism is discrimination. They one and the same. Racism.
Somebody else gets the job.
Trap. Racism is discrimination.
I can't believe my cousin's not in this chat.
Okay, but let me finish what I'm talking about. Politics. Politics, there's laws in place. My family died for civil rights. On the books, it says that you cannot discriminate against anybody because of race, color, or creed.
Race, color.
That's discrimination. That's racism.
Yes.
Okay? Who they hire here? They only hire their people, and they don't speak English. How'd they get the job?
Yo, shout out to the Dunkin' Donuts out here in Central Falls. We got the best Dunkin' Donuts in the city. Shout out to, I always forget shouting my Dunkin' Donuts out. Yo, if you ain't went to Dunkin' Donuts out here in Central Falls, man, you bugging. Okay. They got the best Dunkin' freshest donuts ever.
So what I'm saying is my people died for the rights, so they had equality, so they could get jobs. Only for them to say, nah, we ain't gonna hire that nigga. That's discrimination and racism. That's what I'm talking about. But guess what? Just like people over here don't think that that's racism, it is. Me and you've had conversations 100 times where you say, yo, what's wrong with putting on your own people? What's wrong with being supported? When it breaks the law is when it's wrong. You cannot hire people based off of race, color, or creed. That's the problem with the.
That's a lie. That's not the truth.
It is the truth.
No, it's not.
It's illegal.
I watch them do it out here. I can't get a job. If I go next door and try to get all of these people, I ain't seen one black person working out here. None of these Spanish
people. That's discrimination. That's racism. That's against the law. If you are qualified, okay, and an essay come right next door who's illegal, who don't got no documented papers, how many construction trucks do you see out here? How many of them?
Mad of them.
Yeah. Hiring. Wait, you saying my brothers can't do construction work?
No, can I just say this? That's backstabbing.
No, he said that's not backstabbing. What do you mean? If I'm a better qualified individual, first of all, I could read English. Just busted people who was selling.
He's saying that's not backstabbing. Can you explain to him why?
A backstabber is a person, an individual. Hey, we don't discriminate. Anybody who got the qualifications, the most qualified individual is going to get the job. You look at me in my face, okay? And then the essay come along, and I'm telling you, I got 20 years experience. You get where I'm coming from? I've been doing this job for such a date and such a time, okay? And that's me. You an essay, okay? Now, you know I got the skills to do the job. And then one of your essays come in, and he don't speak English. He's never done the job before, and you hire him. That's backstabbing, because I'm like, the term backstabbing we're using is because I know most of my people understand what backstabbing is. Okay, what I'm saying is the America's laws. We are a country of laws, meaning if you hire your people based off of race, color, sex, or creed, you're discriminating. You're breaking the law.
Forrest, let it go. That's not backstabbing, though.
Backstabbing is one of your girls sleeps with. No, it ain't. That's called cheating. Is that not called cheating?
Hold up, she got a scenario.
Okay. No, I read it.
What did she say? That?
She said backstabbing is one of your girls sleeps with one of your mans. That's backstabbing.
That is.
That's cheating. To me, listen. You don't own nobody. I'm sorry. You get it?
So that's
that is just you got cheated on.
No.
Your man's like, I don't hold.
We're talking about racism and backstabbing.
Yes.
You said it was the same thing.
I know. I said racism and discrimination is the same thing.
Racism.
And I used the analogy of backstabbing. Okay?
Nah, you're confusing me.
I know
he's confusing me right now. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. You just ain't getting, man. You have to know the person.
The reason I use it it's called analogies. It's called next to. I'm not. Racism is racism. Discrimination is discrimination. Backstabbing is backstabbing. What I'm saying to you is if you told me, I'm going to give you the job. And I walk out the motherfucking door.
You were supposed to have the job.
Okay, thinking that I got the fucking job.
Because I told you had the job.
Because you told me you had the fucking job. And SA walked in and you gave him with less qualifications.
And I gave him the job
instead of me.
That's racism.
That's racism, discrimination, and I can look at you like a backstabber. You motherfucker! You just told me I got the job.
No. That's racist. Well, you can look at it that kind.
That's what I'm. You just told me I'm good. Like I said, if I walk into any business and they say, what you do? What kind of years experience you got?
Don't they tell you that in every job interview? They say, we're gonna hire you. Because let me tell you something.
They don't.
I went to 2 job interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
My whole life. And both job interviews sat me down.
Yeah.
After I talked to them, they said, "Yo, man, we might have a position here for you."
Yeah.
So they gave me a hope I had the job.
Yeah.
I didn't get either job.
I get it.
All right.
But that's not necessarily.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
Is that backstabbing?
No, that's not necessarily
Why?
backstabbing. Because
you just said that
somebody
else told me that.
Listen,
they're telling me that
they looking for somebody.
They probably hired 2 motherfuckers.
Okay, you can't make assumptions. That's one of the things that I don't like to do. One of the reasons why conversations for me get crazy is because sometimes certain words, it's like the word backstabbing.
Mm-hmm.
The word backstabbing don't hold no weight for me. You know what I'm saying? It's an analogy. You get where I'm coming from? Nepotism is what you, all these words that they're using, I'm saying yes, but the context is when you get it to its basic form.
Jackson, how does that make you a liar if I'm interviewing you for a job and I say, you might got a good shot at working here, and I'm really thinking about hiring you, and then somebody else comes in.
Domingo, please give us the definition of nepotism.
Oh my God, you challenged the wrong guy.
I need that. Because he said that's nepotism.
Wrong guy.
Please, Domingo, please.
Oh my God.
You
challenged the wrong guy.
The definition of nepotism is. Okay.
He's confusing himself.
He
said you're confusing yourself.
No, listen, let me tell you how I talk.
Yeah.
The way I speak, I'm never confused.
Yeah.
If I'm confused, I'll shut up. Okay. Mm-hmm. If a person, this is the problem that we have in society as a whole. When people disagree with somebody, they would rather shit you down or they would try to talk like you don't know nothing. You don't do this.
But that's not what they're
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You're taking us. No, what the whole issue started.
This is about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. Juneteenth, racism, discrimination. That's what we're talking about. Then we went down a road about backstabbing. Yeah. And now they're going.
No. It's on the same road.
No, I know. When we start, we just spent a good 5-10 minutes trying to define what backstabbing is. I'm using backstabbing
as a terminology.
Exactly. It's not about backstabbing.
All right, you should have just said that. You should have just said whole trap. I'm using that just as a terminology.
I said that. I said it's an illustration. I said it's what I said is the same thing. And I stand on mine. You know that.
All right.
Racism and discrimination is the same thing.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's where we differ.
The definition of nepotism is hiring a family member or a close friend that violates the civil rights. You see what I'm saying? Like, is that a violation? Yes or no? He's saying, see how he says family member?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Everybody who's your race is not a family member.
Yeah, that's
Do you get what? I don't want to play word games. I'm not into word games. You get where I'm coming from? Okay, that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying to you is racism and discrimination is if you hire somebody who's of less qualifications over somebody who is based off of the color of their skin, their sex, race, or creed.
100%,
It's
brother.
discrimination.
Brother,
Okay?
I agree with you on
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
100%.
Okay.
The only thing that we had to agree the discrepancy on was in that you
But
cleared that up.
nepotism is family.
You was just using that
You
as
could use the same when you say nepotism. You have two of the same races. One Dominican guy, Haitians, but this Dominican guy is your family member. You get where I'm coming from?
That's nepotism.
That's nepotism. Like
But
it
that's
doesn't.
not what we was talking
That's
about.
not what we're talking about. That's why I'm saying we going off on different tangents. All I'm here to talk about, and what I want us to understand, is I love all races, colors, and creeds of people. But in the law, I've been trained and disciplined to say, yo, this is wrong because it's against the law. Okay. And my family and my people died for civil rights. So the civil rights violations that goes on, that's why I call this state super racist. Okay.
Domingo, discrimination has nothing to do with race. It's discrimination.
Yo, see, this is
the same.
Oh my
I
goodness.
can say the same. I grew up going to.
So why in race?
Wasn't like that.
No, listen, I'm not into the debates because, like, again, look what we're doing. We're saying racism is different than discrimination. Okay, backstabbing is different than racism and discrimination, and everybody here should be mature enough to understand what we're talking about. Okay, we have a thing called Black Foundational Americans. This is Black on Black Day in a positive way.
Yeah.
Okay, what Juneteenth is Juneteenth. Okay, we celebrate here. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
And what I'm talking about is tribalism is taking place, and that creates this violation of civil rights. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about people's personalities and where they come from and who they fighting for, because I got some Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and people that come from overseas that I love. You understand?
All different
okay, yes, but I'm saying if the law is the law, illegal is illegal. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'm saying we all should be under one fight. We should.
One fight. So moving on from Juneteenth, and I want you to wrap it up in Juneteenth, and how can you wrap it up in some words to say how we can come together as people?
Well, Juneteenth.
One second.
Yep.
As people, and we can get better communication and better unifying skills to promote Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is a very powerful day.
It is.
And I say that because from the knowledge I've gotten over the last few years that me and you have went through it, and I've talked about it with other people. And I'm not knowledgeable, still not knowledgeable about Juneteenth. But what I know is it's a major day for me as a black man.
All races, colors, and creeds of people should be celebrating Juneteenth.
I'm not speaking about them. I'm speaking about me as a black man, my brother.
Community.
When you told me about how the roots and how slavery was on this day was supposed to be abolished. This is the day that my great grandfather was supposed to be free from chains.
That's right.
All of the backlash and all people raping my women, all of that was supposed to cease today. That's right. I think that's a powerful day as a black man. That's why it kind of chills down my spine a little bit that we don't celebrate and we don't promote it much as we do. You understand what I'm saying? So a salute to everybody that does every year. You know what I'm saying? And me as a black man, I'm gonna help promote that more next year, and you know what I'm saying, the following year. This morning, the history that you gave me, and I appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? But I want to move on. I want to. You got anything else you want to say before?
Well, the last thing I want to say, one of the things that people do is, like I said, people kind of own holidays and stuff like that. You know, me, I try to do my homework to learn about all the movements that's happened, like Haiti, when they fought for their independence and liberation. I see the Dominican parade for independence there, Cape Verde, and so forth and so on. So I can appreciate every culture and creed of people. You know what I mean?
being a part of this.
Yeah,
This
and I
is
love
major.
it. It's
Because
so,
this is affecting this is some part of your history too.
absolutely.
No matter what creed you are, whether you're white, because this was the day that your people gave us freedom back. If you was Cape Verdean or Cape, this was the day you was free too.
I can appreciate that's what I'm saying.
This is the day for all of us, every creed, to understand that we should all come together and unify and help this day and celebrate this.
All of us should be celebrating Juneteenth.
Best example that you guys see every day is Broad Street, with not one black person working in any of these businesses on Broad Street, but a lot of these black
patrons. Yes, we are patrons. I see. He said that's what I'm saying. That's messed up, because, and we talked about this. I'm glad you said that, Domingo. I know. I'm glad you said that, but this is the reason why, and this is the issue. So, in Rhode Island, let's talk about Rhode Island. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it alone after I say this, and then we're gonna go back to Juneteenth. In Rhode Island, the annual budget in Rhode Island is $14 billion. Okay, there's a program called the MBE. The MBE is the Minority Business Enterprise. Okay, the Minority Business Enterprise. There's a Rhode Island state law that states, okay, that the Rhode Island government, okay, needs to spend 15% of their annual budget with minority-owned businesses, okay? There's a certain group of people who shut certain groups out, but let me give you the statistics on who's in there. So, okay, if the annual budget that they have to spend is $14 billion, right? And they have to spend 15% of that with minority-owned businesses. That means black people, Spanish people, all of that. Okay. Now, 65% of the people who's getting that money, white women, of the 15%. Okay, so that's $2.1 billion. Okay,
that's a lot of bread.
I know. Annually, every year, they spend that with white women. Who gets the rest?
Why specifically white women?
Because they are considered a minority. This is the hypocritical stuff. This is what I'm talking about. 65% go to white women, right? Okay.
Why not black women in Cape
Wait. Let me help you with that. I'm getting there. About 20% goes to the Latino communities. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then like 10% goes to like the Indian communities and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. You know how much the black community gets?
What's the black community?
About 4%.
In Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island. Okay.
So he only gives us 4% of the money.
I'm saying the MBEs do.
The MBEs do.
The people who run it. Keith Stokes. He's the he's the associate director of the minority.
He's a white guy?
Yeah. No, he ain't. He's a black man. I call house people. I swear to God. I'm telling you. Listen. 0.5% of engineers in Rhode Island.
Does anybody know what this man's talking about? Does anybody know if this man's telling the truth? Can y'all Google this shit?
The Department of Administration. I'm gonna give them the information.
I want y'all to tell me if y'all can Google this shit for me. You know I'm not a good Googler, right? And tell me if this shit is true. And tell me if this man is cat. I'm never cat. Tell me if he's cat, because I want you to say, yo, Trap, he's cat. And show me these cats.
I'm telling you, because I love it's called the DOA, Department of Administration.
All right, so what's the dude's name? The black
Keith Stokes is an associate director of the MBE program of DOA over there for the MBE. Okay, so like I said, 15%, give or take a couple of billion or something, give or take a couple of 100 million. Okay, is $2.1 billion is 15% of the budget that's supposed to be spent with minorities here. 65% goes to white women. How are they a minority? I don't know. You get where I'm coming from? But so the 2.1 billion that they set aside for businesses to flourish.
What do they mean by white women? You gotta elaborate. You got
white women. What are you talking about? I'm just keeping it a buck.
No, Domingo, no. Been pro Canada based off of numbers of the population.
Negative. It's not based on capita. No, it's not. It's about being registered and certified as an MBE business. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is when they go to the office, they register in their brothers. Do you know who Byron Allen is?
Nah.
Okay, Byron Allen is a black man who just sued big advertising companies like for McDonald's. They wasn't spending money advertising in black communities. So he just got a settlement for he was suing for $10 billion.
Because
they wasn't spending advertising dollars in black communities. So the reason why I use that as a comparison is because most black communities don't know about this MBE thing. Most companies don't know how to get registered as an MBE.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? But guess what? They promote heavily in their communities. You get where I'm coming from? So like I said, white men are people who's got the, said 14 billion, right? So that means $12 billion is going to white men, correct? Right?
How
You
much
see
is
what
going to black men?
That's what I'm trying to help you understand. Do the math. 14. I'm gonna break it down. 14. I'm a math guy. You get where I'm going from? $14 billion gets spent here in Rhode Island annually. Okay. Out of that 14 billion, about 10 billion of that go to white men, the construction companies, all that stuff. Okay, to do all this stuff, prisons, to bring the food, the clothes, all the stuff per the government. You know what I mean? The judges, the lawyers, all the businesses that support that. Bringing paper to them, medical supplies, all that stuff. Okay, so like I said, 10 billion goes to white men. Okay. $2.1 billion is supposed to go to minority businesses, okay? If
we don't get that.
65% of that goes to white women. So let's say 50% of 2.1, okay, is one.
That's the whole bag.
1 billion is going to white women, more than 1 billion. So that leaves you with like 850 million, okay?
Hey, I know y'all are Googling this shit. I know my chat.
I'm just keeping it above.
These women are here trying to prove you wrong.
They can't prove me wrong because I'm right. I know. Trust me. So, I'm just doing the math for you, so you put it in perspective.
I hope you're right.
I am right. So, 20% of it is going to Latinos. I'm just knowledgeable.
Motherfucker, man. This is what I tell them all the time.
You get it? So now, if 20% of that 2.1 billion is like 200, 300 million is going to who? The Latino communities. That's why you see the businesses flourishing. You get where I'm coming from?
So we're not flourishing because our money is not going to us.
We don't get contracts. We don't do the job. So the last thing I'm gonna say is this: money stays in the Chinese community 27 days. Okay.
Yo, I never seen a black person work in a Chinese restaurant. He asked me that.
I'm just keeping it a buck. Okay.
Yo, I gotta ask the chat. Have you ever seen a black person working at a Chinese restaurant?
No, okay.
He asked me that question. I never seen a black person.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So let me get back to the math before I go. Okay. Money stays in the Chinese community.
Is that racism?
It is. It is. That's discrimination. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
So why they don't get chopped? If that's against the law.
Nobody's suing them. See, one of the things that we don't have enough of is lawyers. Because guess what? Anytime you say something wrong against the Jewish people, guess what they do? They sue you. You get where I'm coming from? That's what they do.
Why ain't Kanye West made that argument?
He has. Do you know? Let me a secret. A secret is this: Will Smith schools that was given for black people to go to law school. What they do to him? Now he can't get no more money. But anyway, listen, what I'm trying to say to you, right?
Oh, I know you was gonna get him.
I know, please.
I know, but
Melissa, what you saying no to? I want to know what you.
Hey, yo, but I want to tell you this: if he's right, I want me he's right, bro. We a spades, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't saying nothing. If he capping, we're gonna call him cap. You know what I'm saying? But if he not capping, yo, we got to tip our hats to him and say, yo, Neat, thanks for blessing us with that knowledge.
So that's what I want us to do.
We ain't know about that.
Black businesses to come together so we can get our MBEs because they have no choice. This is a mandate. Remember I said certain skills?
Yeah.
They shutting me out at engineering, and I build bombs for the DOD every day because they don't want me to get access to any of that $2.1 billion.
Oh, she said seeing a black person in the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
what I'm
that's
saying.
so other groups follow suit.
I think I seen I don't think I seen a black person work at this man. This
That's so. Remember, we still on Chinese, right? 27 days the money stay in their community, right? Okay. 19 days the money stays in the Jewish community. 16 days it stays in the Indian community. 9 days it stays in the Latino community. 0 days it stays in the black community. What it means is we are 100% the consumers.
Mm-hmm. That's
we
a
buy
fact.
from all of them, and they don't buy from us.
And they don't buy from us.
And that's why I'm so big and about Juneteenth. I'm like, we have to start supporting one another, unity. So we showcase our
You can't
skills.
spell community without spelling unity.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We need to come together and everybody be good in their own right. And we go and register to become certified MBEs so we can get access to these resources so we can build our community. Because a community is, like I said, East Side, Jewish community.
That's why they did that to the East Side and they gentrified it, where they kicked all the gangbangers out of there. They cleaned the neighborhood, put little coffee shops.
What is it?
They little Jewish shops.
Bruh,
wow, that's crazy, yo. I never realized that.
Pay attention.
I never realized these people did that.
Look, Central Falls, it's all what? Latino. True or false? Where's the other businesses at? But with that, I'm going to leave it like saying, yo, I love all people, but I believe black community needs to get together and start showcasing our skill sets. It's called bartering and trading until we get the bag. Like, we all support each other to get these contracts, these state and federal contracts, so we can start spreading the love to other people in our communities. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And that's what I'm all about.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man.
And that being said, happy Juneteenth. I'm making black on black. I'm coining the phrase black on black as positive. I drive a black on black car. Trap drives a black on black car. It's a positive thing now, okay? We're going to support. Black is going to support black, and it's going to be quality over everything. Black excellence. That's
a fact, man. I just want to thank you for coming on the show, man, and blessing us and blessing me with the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? The Juneteenth, and I hope to see you. I know I'm going to see you there. We're probably going to go together. You're going to make sure. I remember seeing you there with a drone one year.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? That's how
much
I'm into Juneteenth. You understand what I'm saying? And now every year I feel like you educate me more and more on Juneteenth. You know, that's dope. You understand what I'm saying?
Roots,
you know what I'm saying? We need to unify and we need to get together, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm praying I see every one of y'all down on Juneteenth. Where's that gonna be at? Can you tell everybody where it's gonna be at? What time it starts?
Roger Williams Park on the 22nd, or is it? I think it's the 21st or the 22nd.
What is it? Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's Saturday.
Saturday's the 21st.
Okay, so it's matter of fact, look it up. But keep talking while I look it up.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the building, man. No bullshit, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Hit that like button, man. Everybody hit that like, man. I hope y'all like the content, man. Tomorrow, man, it's Friday, man. We talking Tyler Perry tomorrow, man. Hey, yo, can I tell you, man? Hey, yo, it gets nasty with Tyler Perry. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, tomorrow, you got to tune in. I'm trying to have visual of this shit. That's how much evidence they got. Hey, they're trying to say Tyler Perry was like Diddy. Yo, you got this dude is Tyler, what's his name? Tyler Dixon. The dude in the overall with him, the movie with him, he sued him for $260 million. Yo, you got to check this out. Tomorrow is lit. The No Longer Trap podcast, man. I want y'all to tune in tomorrow, man. I'm going to show you and tell you how they're taking down all our black men. And I don't care what you say. This is a takedown. This is a takedown, bruh. They're going after Tyler Perry. They're going after, what's the Lionel Richie? Who was the other motherfucker?
No, you heard about R. Kelly, right?
Yeah, we know about R. Kelly. They're trying to murder him. He's trying to get out. We know about Tory Lanez. I'm talking about what's the R&B singer, the black dude they trying to get? Is it Lionel Richie or the blind guy? It's one of them dudes that was messing with their maids. Who is it messing with their maids and stuff?
I don't know. But Juneteenth is 12 to 7, June 22nd.
Oh, that's a Sunday.
Okay. Right. They also have the Taste of Juneteenth New England. Okay, from noon to 6 p.m. Farm Fresh, Sims Avenue in Providence.
And when is that?
We'll find out right now.
Shout out to everybody still in the building, man. Appreciate that, man. And this is a wrap, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man, after he releases this date. Trying to get these dates to you because I'm destined to see y'all down there, man, and celebrate.
Actually, it's today.
It's today.
Yes, 10 Sims Avenue, Providence.
10 Sims Ave, Providence.
From 12 o'clock
From
to
12
6
o'clock
p.m.
to 6 p.m. Go
Yes.
check it out.
Of Juneteenth.
Taste the Juneteenth. See what they got going on down there. Come on down there. Bring your kids. I know it's kid friendly. It ain't 420 friendly, which I hate, but it's a day that we celebrate our people. So I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? I just had to stay in the car for a little while. But hey, maybe they get it together one day and say, hey, marijuana is sold at stores. They can smoke it during Juneteenth.
Oh, wait, we got one more important information that I wanted to share. It says Rhode Island Juneteenth ceremony will honor Black veterans of the Civil War.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's
52 dope. Black veterans of the Civil War are buried at Rhode Island's North Burial Ground. They will be honored on June 21st as the community obviously celebrates.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them,
Rhode
man.
Island has a connection to Juneteenth. Those are the brothers that fought for the Civil War.
Facts.
Good. Why people think I be capping?